Hey there. I've kind of run out of funny things to say at the beginning right now. My brain's focused on subtraction. So let's get to it. Okay, so we are doing subtraction with regrouping this time. It's a little trickier, but you got it. No worries. Okay, so my problem is 352 minus, gotta choose the right operation here, 169. So in base 10 blocks, I need 3 hundreds. So these squares are representing my big hundreds blocks. 5 tens, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 2 ones. 1, 2. Now with subtraction, when we're doing the base 10 blocks, we don't draw the bottom number. We just cross out the bottom number. So here we always start with our ones. So I have to think to myself, how am I going to take 9 things away from 2 things? 2 things, like if I have 2 cookies, I can't eat 9 cookies. So I need to go to the store and get a box or package of 10 more. So I'm going to go next door and get 10 more. So I'm basically trading this stack of 10 for 10 ones. So my number hasn't changed at all. I still have 352. It just looks a little differently. So now that we have all of these ones, we can take 9 away from that. So let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm left with 3. So I'm going to draw that down here. Okay, now I need to take away 6 tens. So let's think. 1, 2, 3, 4. I only have 4 tens left. So kind of the same thing that we did over here where we borrowed a 10 and moved it over to the ones. We need to borrow 100 and move it over to the tens. So I'm going to borrow the 100 and trade it for 10 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now, so these are worth the exact same, they just look different. Now I can take away 6 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm left with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So there's 8 tens left. Now we have to take away the 1 more 100. So I'm going to cross that one out, and I'm left with 183. So let's see and check it in expanded form and see if that pans out. We've got 352 minus 169. So I'm going to break that into expanded form. I'm going to stretch it out. So we've got 300. So this is the same as 300 plus 50 plus 2. Even though we've got the pluses in here to show expanded form, we're still going to do the operation of subtraction. But this is the same as 100 plus 60 plus 9. Okay, so I kind of showed you on the last video that little poem or chant. So if there's more on top, no need to stop. Is there more on top? So now we need to keep going with the chant. More on the floor, go next door and get 10 more. So that's saying that there's more on the bottom, so we need to borrow. There wasn't enough to cross out. Okay, so here we're going to go next door and get 10 more. So now we've got 10 plus 2, which is 12. I kind of like to write it, I just add the 10 right there. So we can see that this is 12 and we don't get confused with that. But if you want to write it with the 10 above and a little plus sign, that's fine too. So now we've got 12 minus 9, and that equals 3. So then now in the tens place, we do that same chant. More on top, no need to stop. There's not more on top. So more on the floor, go next door and get 100 more. So here we're going to cross this out. And we're going to borrow 100 and put it over here. So now we've got 140 minus 60. And let's see, 14 tens minus 6 tens is 8 tens, or 80. Now we do our last step of 200 minus 100. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, that's 100. And then we have to put it back in standard form. 100 plus 80 plus 3 is 183. Cool. Number line. Here we draw our number line. We're going to start with our bigger number of 352. And I'm going to rewrite my problem so I don't get confused again. 69. So I'm going to start with my ones jumps. So I'm going to jump minus 2 because that's going to get me to a friendly number. So 350. A friendly number is anything that ends in 0 or 5. They're easy to work with. So I've kind of broken this 9 into 2 and 7 because 7 plus 2 equals 9. So now I know I need to do a 7's jump. So 350 minus 7 is 343. Now I need to do my 10's jumps. So I'm going to do minus 40. Or should I just do minus 60? What do you think, Mrs. Guerrero?
Let's take it apart. 40 and 20.
Let's do 40 and 20. So I'm breaking this into these because 40 plus 20 equals 60. So I'm going to do a 40 jump because that takes me close to a friendly number. So here we go, 303, because 343 minus 40 is 303. We just took away that tens place. Now I'm going to do a 20 jump because we've already done this one, so we just have to do that one. So we're going to do minus 20. So 303 minus 20. 300 minus 20 is 280, but we have to remember that 3 is still there. Now we have our hundreds jump. So I'm going to do a bigger 100s jump, and I end up with 183 because the hundreds place is the only thing that changed there. And then I can go back and check to make sure I made all my jumps. So 100, and I can check doing adding. I can add up all my jumps. 100 plus 20 is 120, plus 40 is 160, plus 7 is 167, plus 2 is 169. I jumped this number. I started with this number and jumped this number. So that's my answer. Hundreds chart, we're way over 100, so we're not going to really use hundreds chart for this one. Number strings. This is where it gets tricksy. So we're going to show you how complicated it is. Number strings really isn't a very good strategy for doing subtraction with borrowing and regrouping. So we've got 352 minus 169. And I need 3 different colors because I've got 3 different place values. So with my ones, a lot of people are like, oh, that's easy. 9 minus 2 is 7. Can't do that. You can't switch the numbers. So 2 minus 9 is negative 7. It goes below 0. And then
You are making this super complicated, Miss Bigler.
It's complicated, but I'm going to show you how to do it. 5 minus 6, it's going to go below 0 again. It's crazy. So, but you can't just do 6 minus 5. You can't switch the numbers. That's changing the problem. So 5 tens minus 6 tens is minus 10. It goes below 0, 10 numbers. Crazy. Then we've got 300 minus 100 is 200. So now it's kind of an expanded form, but you still have to do a little bit of math. So here we've got 200 minus 10 is 190, minus 7 is 183. So,
Miss
yeah.
Bigler, you made that really hard. Can I switch the camera with you? I'll
Yes.
show you a little bit easier of a way, more steps, but it's still not the most friendliest way to solve it.
Okay, so we're going to see how Mrs.
man.
Guerrero does it.
Miss Bigler just took you well above third grade right here with negative numbers.
Yes, I did.
I'm going to keep it all positive.
Okay.
So let's rewrite it just under here. 352 minus 169. I'm going to take my red. We're going to work with my ones. Like she said, 2 minus 9 you can't do. So I'm just going to take a 10, regroup, make that a 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now 12 minus 9 is 3. Now I'm going to take my 10s. 40 minus 60 I can't do, so I'm going to have to regroup here. And now I can do 140, that represents, so 14 minus 6 here is 8, or 80. Now if I do my hundreds, I have 200 minus 100, leaves me with 100, and I'll keep it positive so I can add those back to my standard form easily. 183.
Still complicated.
A lot more steps you have to do when you're subtracting. You'll have to show the regrouping, or you'll have to learn your negative numbers.
Which is crazy hard.
In third grade.
Yes.
But some of you can do it, and if you can, go for it. Otherwise, pick one that you understand a little bit better.
Okay.
Back to you, Miss Bigler.
All right. Okay. Standard algorithm. This one's kind of my favorite because it's easy peasy. So we've got 352 minus 169. And notice how I'm keeping all my ones under my ones, my tens under my tens, hundreds under hundreds. So here's where we do our little chant again. More on top, no need to stop. More on the floor, go next door and get 10 more. So I borrowed a 10 and put it over into the ones. Okay, so now we can do more on top, no need to stop. Okay, so 12 minus 9 is 3. Then we look at just the tens place and do the chant again. More on top, no need to stop. More on the floor, go next door and get 10 more, or 100 more in this case. So this is 14 tens. So 14 tens minus 6 tens is 8 tens. Now we do the chant again with the hundreds place. It's the same thing over and over again. More on top, no need to stop. We do have more on top, no need to stop. My answer is 183. Okay, inverse operation. So my brain kind of works with addition a little bit better. So I like to check my work using addition. So we've got 352 minus 169. I'll just do it really quick because we just did the standard algorithm over here. So there's more on the floor, so I go next door, get 10 more. More on the floor, go next door, get 10 more. More on top, no need to stop. Since subtraction is the exact opposite of addition, we can check our answer using addition. So now I can take the difference that I found here, 183, and add it to 169, and it should give me 352 if I did it right. So 3 plus 9 is 12. You carry the 1. 8 tens plus 6 tens is 14 tens, plus 1 is 15 tens. 100 plus 100 plus 100 is 300. So this number is the same as this number that we started with. So this is a fact family And you can check your work in subtraction using addition when you add these two smaller parts together. So that's subtraction with regrouping. It's awesome when you understand it, and it's pick a strategy. You'll do great.
And if you've made it this long in the video, 15 minutes in,
Holy cow.
you deserve a treat. Go talk to your mom and dad.
Well, or your teacher. I think you need a Skittle or something. That's a long video. Good job.